right, folks, Michael Cohen here with you with the Sports Talk Nation right here on YouTube. Folks, I want to thank you for joining me here today. Now, kind of a short video here as I will play for you, as promised, the interviews that I did last week during my trip down to Port St. Lucie with Mets outfielder Michael Conforto and Mets catcher Travis dArnaud. Now, both of these interviews are pretty short. They're about 2 minutes apiece. But it is an opportunity for me to talk to both of these guys a little bit about what's been going on with both of them so far in spring training. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Again, now the first interview that you will hear here, folks, is going to be my interview with Michael Conforto. Again, he is still on the disabled list, so I asked him about his comeback as he's trying to get back on the field with the team. How's the rehab going right now?
It's going well. Yeah, it's going really well. Took some more batting practice in the cage today. Maybe out on the field tomorrow or the next day. I'm not really sure yet, but everything's been great. I mean, I haven't had to take a day due to soreness yet. Knock on wood, hopefully I don't have to. Everything's been really smooth, and so we're moving in the right direction.
What's this process been like? I mean, especially in recent weeks, spring training going, I know it's tough to see your teammates out there playing every day.
Yeah, it's tough, but I just try to take it day at a time. It's definitely tough to go, sit on the sidelines and watch, the guys play and have, watch them have success, getting ready for the season. But I got to do things the right way and make sure I'm coming back healthy and I'm able to play, the rest of the season and have no setbacks or anything like that. So, yeah.
What's kind of your timetable right now? What are you looking at as far as getting to games, spring training, or even extended spring training at some point?
It's day to day. Really, they just want me to come in, check in every morning, see how I feel as we increase my workload. Getting more swings. And then see how I feel after I swing outside. So that's going to determine that end date when I'm ready to go. But everything feels great right now, and I know we're going to be careful. But as far as the way I'm feeling, I feel great. I feel like there's nothing holding me back at this point.
Right now, swings in the cages are feeling pretty good for you right now?
Yeah, I'm feeling great. I'm letting it rip. I'm swinging hard and no hesitation. And it feels like I'm just getting ready for the season now at this point. So it's been good.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, man. Thank you. All right, everyone. What you learned in that interview with Conforto is that he is still going through a lot of the treatment. He is still slowly progressing and trying to get back on the field. Now, I did read here today that he is planning to play in some exhibition games, potentially next week. Of course, the chances of him being in a regular season game in April is probably unlikely at this point. So he'll be down in Port St. Lucie for extended spring training going into the month of April and through the month of April. And right now he has a timetable potentially of May 1st to come back and join this team as he is, again, recovering from a shoulder surgery that he had in September. But one thing I got from him is that he is in good spirits, that he is positive, and that he believes that he is moving in the right direction to help this team in 2018. Now, let's talk to Travis dArnaud. A couple questions. You've had a really solid spring so far. Just talk to me about your process so far this spring, getting ready for the season.
Just getting my legs underneath me to getting used to, the season. It's during season, the rigorousness of catching can wear and tear on your legs. So being able to just get used to it again here in spring training has been nice.
One thing I read about in recent weeks is just that, looking through your stats, just the change in approach and how you've gotten better almost every single day, every single year. And where's that transitioning you now forward for this season?
Almost to get back on track where I finished the year last year, where I'm just trying to keep things as simple as possible. And for me, most importantly, is to just focus on being healthy and doing whatever I can to stay on the field.
Right now in spring training, what's really the best thing for someone like yourself? Is it to catch or just do a little designated hitter as well? Just to kind of
everything. Just to make sure by the time day one starts that I'm comfortable, not only behind the plate but at the plate. and just build relationships, even more relationships with all the pitchers here, and to see everybody from behind the plate to know what their ball does. I've seen a lot of these guys, but there's still new arms here that all of the catchers still have to learn. So I just try to catch as many different people as I can.
What's it like working with Jason Vargas? He's one of the newcomers here in the ball club.
He's awesome, man. He's awesome. Always has such a great game plan for. I've only worked with him once in the game, but even in his bullpens, you could tell he has a strict game plan that he wants to make sure he follows. On top of that, he's a great person, and it's been really fun to hang out with him.
You got your big four there in your starting rotation, of course. Syndergaard, Matz, Harvey, DeGrom. A lot of those guys coming off tough times. What have you seen from those guys as they go on throughout this spring training?
Just to get the feel back of all their pitches. All of them have been pitching great. They all feel really confident, and as a team, that's a great feeling to have when usually teams say all 5 of your starters, but all 8 of our starters feel excellent. They all look excellent, so it's been fun.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, man.
You're welcome.
Again, that was Travis dArnaud, and again, before I continue here, I want to thank both dArnaud and Conforto for giving me a couple of minutes last week. Again, I got an opportunity to be down there last Wednesday when I had the credential for the Mets-Yankees game, and was very, very fortunate to speak to both of them. Now, with dArnaud, it's kind of an interesting situation because you take for a lot of people, a lot of Met fans anyway, they consider the Mets catching situation kind of an open competition in some ways between dArnaud and Kevin Plawecki. But you really look at dArnaud's numbers. I understand the batting average wasn't that great last year. He hit 244. Year before that, he hit 247. But the power numbers were there. He had 16 home runs last year. Drove in 57. Yes, you'll want to see a little more RBIs from that standpoint. But there were points last year where there was improvement in a lot of his game last season. Improvement on the road. He showed power on the road, showed power at home. Was hitting lefties much better than he had done in the past. So, yes, while the catching situation has been a bit of an enigma at times for the Mets, I think last year dArnaud did show some improvement, and he's due for a big year this year. This is an important year for him. He is hitting pretty well so far in spring. He's hitting .316, a homer, and 3 RBIs. In case you were wondering, Plawecki is having a great spring. He has hitting at .381 with a homer and 7 RBIs. So the Mets have a good situation, if you will, going into the season at catcher. Maybe defensively, you could have some issues. Plawecki's defense is not that great. dArnaud's had his issues defensively as well. But offensively, you would like to see a little more production out of the catching position. I would think going into the season that dArnaud very much is the favorite to be the starting catcher of this team, and certainly moving forward for the majority of the games will be the starting catcher of this team. So I know that, again, a lot of Met fans had issues about the catching position going into the season, but he is going to be the guy, and he's going to be the guy here for 2018, and he's going to be responsible for catching all these pitchers. And the Mets have a lot of big-time pitchers. They have a lot of big-time pitchers coming off of injuries, from Syndergaard, who has looked good so far in spring. You have DeGrom, who had his first outing earlier this weekend. Again, coming off of an injury. Harvey, not just coming off the injury, but also trying to get himself back to where he was a few years ago. Matt Wheeler, we can go on and on. So it's going to be a big year for him, not just with the bat, but also working with these pitchers. So again, folks, I want to thank you for tuning in, listening here on the Sports Talk Nation and the Open Mic Program. Remember to follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Open Mic Program, at Open Mic NJ on Twitter, and of course, like and subscribe right here on the Sports Talk Nation, right here on YouTube. Talk to you next time.